Guys. All right, injuries for practice. Ben Barch, ankle, will not practice. Trent Williams, ankle, will not practice. Bosa, hip oblique, will not practice. Isaac Garindo, foot, will not practice. D. Winters, limited. Mustafa, limited. Greenlaw, limited. Flanagan Fowles, limited. Yetur, limited. Go ahead.
Isaac, just on the extent of his weight and his chances for this week.
Same as what I told you guys yesterday.
You seemed hesitant yesterday to say that Greenlaw might be activated for this game. Is there a reason for that? I mean, is it not going as well, or was there a setback in the last couple of weeks?
No, I just haven't talked to him yet, and want to talk to him and see how this week went.
I hate social media, but yesterday, Debo.
I don't hate it.
Well, it's not your favorite thing in the world.
I
You don't
know,
use it.
I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do social media. Debo knows how to do social media, though. And so yesterday, he said that he's not struggling, he's just not getting the ball. Has he expressed any frustration with you in terms of targets and production?
Debo and I talk every day, so I mean, I understand Debo saying that. Debo wants to help us out, and the only way he helps us out is getting the ball more, and we'd like to get it to him more, and we'll continue to work at that.
When he does that, obviously it's more than just saying that. It can create a distraction, or it can, people can perceive that different ways, and maybe it can't be good for the team. Do you have any problems with that, or have you talked to him about, hey, maybe just keep that in-house?
Yeah, we'd always love things to stay in-house. That's probably why I don't mess with social media. I'm sure I'd get worked up and stuff too if I was reading stuff about myself all the time, and then I'd maybe make a tweet or something. But that's, I mean, is it a distraction in our building? No. I mean, we've got to answer questions about it. It's the first time I've talked about it, is right here. But I mean, Devo and I see each other every day and talk about stuff every day. So my advice is to not let outside frustrate you, because just answering those things isn't going to help you in any way. Usually only hurt you. But as far as like what we deal with in our relationships and our team, it's water under the bridge.
Part of this, Kyle, is, I mean, you guys scored 38 points on Sunday. It seems like the offense has found its rhythm that it's been looking for all season. How do you feel about the offense right now?
I mean, I liked how we played last week. So I mean, it's a week-to-week thing. It's you know, we played good in that game, and I thought we hadn't played that well the following the previous 3 weeks. We did versus Tampa the week before that, so we haven't been as consistent as we'd like, and hopefully we can string 2 games together in a row here.
We had a couple kickoffs that didn't reach the landing zone there. What was going on? Was he trying something, or was it just a slip, or what was happening?
No, he was trying to, when you wind up, to try to boot it out so you don't have a return. Sometimes you don't hit the bottom of the ball correctly. You hit the middle of the ball and don't hit it right, so he just shanked 2.
What have you thought about the play of Purdy and Mustafa, a couple of rookies who have played a lot this year?
I think they've helped us out all year. I mean, they came out real strong and showed right away in camp. Purdy earning that starting position with, 2 injuries, I think, in the first 3 days of camp. So he's basically been the starter since day 3, and he acted like the starter right away, and he's continued that throughout the year. Malik in his opportunity with some injuries also, but both of them have been playing at a high level. It's tough this time of year for all these rookies. They're usually done around this time, so I know it's a challenge for them just with their bodies and everything, and keeping up with the wear and tear and having to play through some of the soreness and the injuries and things like that. So, but I've been real impressed with them. They helped us a ton, and they're going to be good Niners here going forward.
Now that we're almost 2 years into this, is it almost frustrating that the Rams have had Cooper Kupp and now they've found Puka Nacua, who's kind of playing out of his mind the last few weeks?
A little bit. I mean, I'd rather them not find really good players, but teams do, and Kupp's been one of the best here over however long he's been playing, and Puka showed last year he's one of the best, and he's continued to prove that this year.
When Demo addressed the team the other night, is that something you would have expected to see him do maybe a couple of years ago, or when he's a rookie? How would you categorize his maturity from the time he got here to now?
A ton. He's still working at public speaking, but just Demo from his first year to his second off season. He came in and did pretty good right away. I remember versus Green Bay, with about 17 seconds on the clock, he had a bust in coverage, which was a big play that got him into field goal range and had him beat us on the last play of the game. And he kind of lost his confidence after that and kind of went, was just quiet, didn't talk that much. And but when he came back that off season, you could tell like something had clicked, because just the energy he played with, how he was in the building every day, and I think after his first year, just how he approached work every single second and the love he has for football kind of showed up to our whole team. And I thought the next step was trying to get him to speak a little bit in front of the team, which he was a little reluctant to do, but we encouraged him some, and he pulled it off.
There's some entrenched leaders on this team that have been on the team a long time. Why did you feel that Lenore was ready and that he was the right man to do it at that time?
I think I just like people with authenticity. I mean, Demo's a very real dude. Sometimes you don't want guys who always talk all the time. You know, we got a lot of guys who can speak well and who are leaders, and it always starts with what you do on the field. But how he plays on the field, the way our guys respect him, and it's always cool to hear some guys who don't speak up that much.
What was Brock's message when he spoke Saturday, and how do you feel like he's asserting his leadership on this team?
I thought it was good. I mean, Brock is definitely one of the leaders on our team. He's been that way since he took over as quarterback, and but I think the guys just enjoyed hearing him talk. I mean, I think everyone knows how Brock is, and he's consistent as anyone in our building. But anytime your quarterback gets up there and says what he's expecting to do the next day, what he's expecting from the guys around him, carries a lot of weight.
Javon Hargrave doing, and what's the plan for him for 2025 after you guys tinkered with his contract?
And the plan is for him to be a Niner. I mean, I don't know about the contract tinkering. That'd be more of a question for John and Parag, but I think that's just mechanics of contract stuff, but things I don't look into until after the season.
Being somewhat tired because they're usually done at this time of year, is that something you can prepare them for, talk to them about, or they just have to kind of go through it?
I mean, you can try to tell everybody everything, but usually people don't believe you until it happens. So you just try to tell people how it's coming, that it usually happens just with experience of being around it. And try to tell them that throughout the year so they kind of set up their routine at the beginning of week one, a little bit in training camp, and you try to never differentiate from that routine. Sometimes rookies, you know, they get to week 4 and it's not that big of a deal. They don't have to go through their routine. But once they get it around now they're like, oh, now I get what you're talking about. I should have kept with that routine. So we pick up on that stuff or talk about it all year to prepare them for this moment, but it still does hit them. And you just talk about the reality of it. I mean, it is going to hit you. You do feel that way, but that's why you got to make conscious decisions and understand it is normal. But it's stuff you got to fight through because too many people are dependent on you.
I know based on where you are in the standings and what's left ahead, does this feel like the playoffs are ready?
Yeah, last week felt like the playoffs already. So, you know, since that Buffalo game, every week is a playoff game. So it feels like it this week, and hopefully we can take care of business so next week feels the same.
How has your dad said anything to you about Garendo reminding him at all of Ricky Waters? That seemed like very similar.
No, he hasn't, but I do love Ricky Waters, and hope Isaac turns out like Ricky. That'd be awesome.
I feel like Leonard Floyd has turned a corner recently, I don't know, last month or so. He just seems to be more impactful when he's out there.
Yeah, I think, his results definitely. I think he's gotten some more production as far as the stat sheet and everything, but Leonard's just an energizer bunny. It's crazy with him being one of the older guys and stuff and how many different teams he's been to, but, you know, I've played against him enough and felt that, but just guys who've known him, talking about how he practices and everything, you know, Staley being with him in a number of places, telling us how he is, and you know, you always think about bringing in an older guy and stuff. Are they not going to be able to practice? Are you going to have to take care of him? And he's one of our hardest workers every single day. He set the tone in practice last week, coming in on that Wednesday to our Thursday practice was our last one on full pads, and you would have thought he was the one who was demanding that we went full pads. Just the way he goes about everything. He loves football, plays so hard, and usually when you're like that, eventually the numbers come.
As a head coach, would you prefer a player to step up and deliver a message like that in a crisis time than to do it yourself?
I don't really have a preference on anything. My preference is whatever gets the best effect, and so you got to balance that off differently. We're with each other all week, so if a player does it 6 days in a row or a coach does it 7 days in a row, I don't think that's ever the best deal. You'd like to hear it from different people, but the main thing is what's the result, and so it's got to be the right player. It's got to be the right message from a coach. It's got to be all that.
Are they going to have to get speeches again because it was so effective?
I'm not superstitious, but I'm a little stitious. So they might have to do it. All right, guys.
wide receiver like Juwan switches positions midway through the season, what's the challenge for you when it's a different person playing a spot where you had a good chemistry with the former player? What do you have to do in those instances?
I mean, honestly, I don't think really much. I think just when it comes to like man coverage and stuff and how, BA moves compared to JJ, like those are some things that are a little different. But I think JJ's, frame and playing X receiver, like he fits the mold pretty well, and he's done a great job of going in there and doing everything that we ask of him within our offense, just like BA. But obviously, I think they're slightly different, just how they run and everything. So I guess that. But outside of that, I think we do, scheme up plays that are similar to what, he was doing at the F position. So I don't know. I think regardless, JJ's a competitor, and anytime, he's in a one-on-one matchup, I can always give him a shot and a chance, and he comes down with it. So I guess maybe that. So.
Brock, do you like how, like he had that one where he caught it, they double caught it, the defender almost caught it. That the fact that he'll go get it for you, he'll fight for it. I mean, how much do you love that?
Yeah, I mean, as a quarterback to know, if it's not always a perfect situation, but you have complete trust in a guy that, is going to fight to the end of the whistle and do everything he can, obviously, for the team and for the ball itself. Like JJ's done that. He's time and time again has fought to the end, and when he catches the ball, gets more yards, or when the ball's up in the air, doing what he can to come down with it or make sure the defender doesn't get it. So as a quarterback, man, I got complete trust in him, and he's done that over and over again. So love playing with him.
Juan said that it was you, Demo, and Kittle that spoke to the team where things just clicked. Do you still feel that same clicking going on, the consistency that was sparked ahead of the last game flowing into this game on a short week?
Yeah, I mean, it's our first day back, today, but I think just the mood within meetings and in passing, and we'll see here at practice, but it's, I feel like we do, have some momentum right now, but we definitely got to continue to earn that over and over again. It's not going to just be a magical thing. We got to put in the work, we got to study, and we got to go out and prove it and continue to have that. So that's been the case, in the past couple of years, and that hasn't changed since. So that's where we're at.
Does scoring 30 points represent a target mark for every game, no matter who you're facing?
I mean, obviously, it'd be nice to be able to do that every game, and I don't even know if that's necessarily a goal for ours, but our goal is to be the best that we can be, and if we are doing that, then that's just the result that comes from it. So I think I don't know really what our record is when we do score over 30, but for us, it's how can we put the best tape out there for ourselves and feel good about us playing together as a team, and then when we look at the scoreboard in those situations, it's usually good like that. So.
Can you take me through your thought process on the deep pass to Garendo? You were under center. It looked like there was a switch to the line. You went back into shotgun, and then Isaac obviously got past the linebacker. So I was just curious what you saw at the line of scrimmage on that play.
Yeah, we just got into a play where basically JJ and Isaac were in one-on-one situations, and I liked really just the matchup with him on a backer, and then he slipped him inside and went. Obviously, there was a guy in my face, so I sort of had to throw it up pretty early, similar to like the Tampa Bay one with Christian. So similar route there, but that's just what happened. I put the ball up, and he went under and got it, and was a big gain, man-to-man coverage, and was a situation that we wanted to be in. So.
A lot of you guys have talked about just kind of the desperation that you need to have here. How different does it feel when you're in this situation as opposed to previous years where, not that you didn't want to win every game, but where you need to win every game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes back to, competing, and, the last couple of years, all we cared about was just week by week. We didn't care about where we were at going into the whole playoff thing. We wanted to get in, we wanted to win our division, and what that took was to win every single week. And, with where we're at now, it can't be what is the end going to look like. It has to be we have to take care of business today and then tomorrow, and then when the game comes, take care of each play and drive and quarter. It's just being in the moment, man, and not looking too far ahead. And so with that comes, playing together as a team and playing desperate because we don't have room to lose or anything like that. So that's just where we're at.
When you put on the tape from Sunday, could you see that desperation?
Yeah, you could feel it, definitely. I think just across the board as a team, everybody had just another, bit more of sense of urgency. And I think we executed and played together as a team, man, and we didn't let off. And so really like that, but, that was last week. So now it's on to this week, and how can we do that again?
Adjustment is it for you to have a new starting running back? You could have a fourth this week. You've already had three, and they're all different pass blockers and catchers. So what kind of adjustment do you have to make?
I mean, I think our offensive line has done a great job with just doing their part in the run game, and then whoever's carrying the ball behind, it's their job to hit the gaps and do their thing. But, for me, I trust in whoever it is, when it comes to the run game. And then obviously in the pass game, I think we have a really smart running back room where they know, where to step up and fit in the blocks and have given me time. And so I trust in all those guys. So there's that. But, I think, not having Christian or JP, guys with a little bit more experience, that could always be a thing. But, Isaac came in, did a great job. Patrick Taylor, he's had experience. We could obviously have Debo back there as well. So, I'm very confident in the guys that we got. So
going through your progressions and letting that dictate where you go with the ball and feeding George Kittle when he's having an all-pro season.
Yeah, I think, just how we scheme it up and everything, for me, it's like I trust in the game plan. I trust in our guys to go and make plays, and I just try to take what the defense gives me. I don't walk up to the line of scrimmage in a play and go, I'm going to go here, 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 just because. There's a reason why I go to a certain guy, and it's per coverage, and I'm just trying to get to my answer per play. So George has had a great year. I think he's done a great job of catching the ball and then getting yards after and sparking us in that sense. But that's sort of just how I go about it. But definitely when you walk up and you see man coverage and situations, that's where it can be all right, I like my guy here in this situation or matchup, and I'm going to do what I can to get him the ball. I think that's a little different. But when you're going through progressions against zone and things like that, it's different. So.
Do some interesting things on the back end. They play a decent amount of cover six. What do you see from their defense?
Yeah, man, I think they do a lot, to be honest. Just coverages and how they play. They have a lot on tape, which as an offense and a quarterback, you just got to be on top of your stuff per play. Sometimes there's those defenses where you walk up and you know what they're in, and sort of expect them to do certain tendencies throughout the game from what you've seen on film. But I think these guys do a good job of switching things up, and you just got to be on top of your stuff. Their front is really good and explosive. They've gotten better throughout the year, and their secondary, their linebackers, everybody, they all tie together, man. They're playing the best football that they have right now. So huge challenge for us.
And Cambier said that they chose you and Demo because you guys are gritty. We asked Kyle about it. He said you guys are authentic. What was your message to the team Saturday night?
I'm not going to go into complete detail, but I do think it was just important for our team to hear, I guess from a guy on defense, Demo, and then myself, just what it's going to take, moving forward, and what our mindset has to be, and at the end of the day, man, just playing desperate football with where we're at in the season, and we don't have room for error. Now's the time to get up and go, and to create momentum and energy for each other, both sides of the ball, playing as a team. And I think just hearing that from players and having it be a player-led team, it's important, man. It's huge, and so especially with where we're at. So, yeah, that's what was said.
Debo hasn't had production he's used to in the last month or so, and he said on social media yesterday he's not struggling, he's just not getting opportunities. As the quarterback, or captain, teammate, do you feel the need to talk to him, just make sure you know where his head's at?
Debo and I talk all the time, and he's one of my best friends on this team. I absolutely love Debo and what he's done for me and helping me out. We talk all the time, and yeah, I think he's right. He's doing great right now with what we ask of him in the offense, and he's not struggling. Like I've said before about guys like Ricky, or last year with Ayuk for a little bit. There's just moments, I guess, throughout seasons where guys just don't get the ball. Just depending on scheme or what the defensive scheme is, and them taking guys away. So I want to get Debo the ball every play if I could. I want to have him break all the records as best as possible. I want Debo to do Debo things, and we all do in this building. So It's just how the games have gone. But I love my guy, and I'm going to do everything I can to, give him the ball. So, thanks guys.